Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and microwave update series. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jenn DiMarco, and alongside me is my co-host, Tim Rainear. Our sponsor for this episode is RFMW. RFMW is a technical distributor of RF, microwave, and power management products. As you begin your next design, consider exploring their broad portfolio of product lines and supplier partners on their website. For today's episode, Tim and I are going to take a look at our July issue, themed AI Software and Test. In the cover feature, How Cadence Agentic AI Will Transform RF Design Productivity, David Vai of Cadence examines how next-generation AI systems are moving beyond traditional design automation. Agentic AI introduces a more autonomous design environment, where tools can reason through RF design challenges, iterate across complex parameter spaces, and help engineers accelerate decision-making. For RF and microwave workflows, this shift has the potential to reduce design cycles, improve optimization efficiency, and support more complex system-level trade-offs, especially as designs continue to scale in frequency and integration complexity. In a digital exclusive article, Polarization Insensitive, Metasurface for Wideband Circularly Polarized Antenna with Low Radar Cross-Section, Wan Zhao of Yicheng University School of Mathematics and Computer Science presents an interesting antenna architecture. The work explores a metasurface-based design that maintains circular polarization across a wide operating bandwidth while remaining insensitive to polarization changes. Importantly, the structure also supports a reduced radar cross-section, making it highly relevant for applications where both wideband communication, performance, and stealth characteristics are required. Tim, what were some of the technical features from the July issue?
Well, thanks, Jen. Intenix, a chamber manufacturer in the Netherlands, has developed a low-cost method for measuring error vector magnitude, or EVM, and other key linearity parameters of mobile devices. Error vector magnitude is a key measurement used to determine whether a mobile transmitter complies with 3GPP standards. A device whose EVM exceeds the standards threshold is not allowed on the network because receivers can no longer reliably demodulate the transmitted symbols. While traditionally performed in an anechoic chamber, Intenix has developed a procedure for making EVM measurements in a reverberation chamber. They do this by characterizing and de-embedding the chamber's linear response, enabling accurate measurement of EVM and modulation distortions within a reverberation chamber. Our second technical feature comes to us from Keysight and continues the agentic AI theme you mentioned earlier, Jen. In this article, they discuss how the manual simulations historically used by RF engineers to iteratively improve their designs are being replaced by Python-based automation. Many RF engineers do not consider themselves programmers, but this new tool flow from Keysight allows them to dip their toes into that end of the pool with no code, low code, and fully coded orchestration, adapting to both requirements and individual preferences. Combining Python with a visual flowchart offers the best of both worlds. Humans can quickly understand the logic, while decision-making can be handed off to agentic AI. Anyway, we heard a lot of this talk at IMS a few weeks ago as AI is finding its way into the RF design process. Microwave Journal is planning a series of articles on this topic over the coming months. Our July issue also featured a lively interactive question and answer session with Georgia Zucchelli, a subject matter expert and product manager for RF and analog mixed signal at MathWorks. This is a follow-on conversation from our May issue and outlines how AI is used to design complex phased array antennas in today's terrestrial and satellite communication systems. Georgia is a true believer in the benefits of AI, which she shares can save significant time in developing new antenna products. Jen, what's the latest for news and developments?
Thanks, Tim. And turning to news, congratulations to Infineon on the grand opening of its new smart power fab in Dresden, Germany. The €5 billion facility is one of Europe's most advanced semiconductor manufacturing sites and will produce billions of power semiconductor chips each year. Supported by the European Chips Act, the new fab strengthens Europe's semiconductor supply chain while helping drive AI infrastructure, renewable energy, electric vehicles, and other technologies powering the digital and green transformation. Congratulations to the Infineon team on this major milestone. Tim, what news stories caught your attention this week?
Well, the European Commission is pushing a new proposal to reauthorize the 2 gigahertz mobile satellite services band starting in 2027. But why reauthorize? What has happened? Back in 2008 and 2009, the Commission designated Inmarsat Ventures and Solaris Mobile as the 2 operators eligible to provide pan-European mobile satellite services. But what has happened since then? Solaris Mobile was acquired by EchoStar in 2014. Inmarsat was acquired by Viasat a couple of years ago. And more recently, SpaceX bought a bunch of 2 gigahertz mobile satellite spectrum from EchoStar. The European Commission is rightly concerned about sovereign ownership and who is licensed to use this key frequency band. So this proposal includes a provision for a full 1/3 of the spectrum to be devoted to secure mobile satellite systems intended to support governmental users and secure communications requirements. The remaining 2/3 would be allocated to commercial services, half reserved for EU companies and half open to non-EU entities. Europe is effectively rewriting the rules of market access in satellite communications, and others will have to decide how to respond. Sticking with the space and satellite theme, a group of satellite operators are launching a new trade association to represent non-geostationary operators, or NGSOs. Founding members include Amazon, Iridium, Telesat, and Globalstar. The organization is called Space Connect Association, and they will advocate for issues like competitive choice, open markets, responsible stewardship of space, and global parity. One of the key issues of concern for the new association is equivalent power flux density, which has nothing to do with the size of the flux capacitor on your DeLorean, but does deal with spectrum sharing between geostationary orbit and non-geostationary orbits, aka LEO constellations. I find it interesting that SpaceX, the largest LEO operator, is notably absent from this Space Connect Association. So watch this space. The next news item kind of blew my mind. IBM just announced what it calls the world's first sub-1 nanometer process. I mean, come on, every time a new process node is announced, we hear, that's it, Moore's Law is finally cracked. And then someone makes a transistor that's even smaller. Just as a point of reference, a human hair is wider than 2 nanometers. These transistors are less than half that size. Of course, a future AI chip built on this process will have 10x the computing power of today's chips. IBM expects it will still be 5 years before this technology becomes commercially available.
Tim, you just did a really interesting podcast with Qorvo, speaking with Dean White and Debbie Gibson. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I had the opportunity to speak with Debbie, who is the general manager of the infrastructure business unit at Qorvo, and Dean, the senior director of the Defense and Aerospace Business Group. We discussed their experience and impressions from the recent IMS show. One key observation involved the industry-wide concern over trusted supply chains and the importance of vertical integration of design, fabrication, packaging, and test. Of course, Qorvo supports this capability. Another key theme from IMS was the transition from GEO to LEO satellite constellations. This has a number of implications in terms of component design, but also high-rel screening and qualification. I encourage our listeners to check out this podcast. I think they'll find it pretty interesting. Before I hand the mic back to you, Jen, I just want to remind our listeners of our upcoming webinar. It will be on July 14th, still Bastille Day, and we will be hosting a discussion on integrated vector network analyzer solutions, sponsored by Copper Mountain Technologies. Jen, I think you had some events to announce as well.
Yes, a few events on our immediate radar. We are looking forward to supporting IEEE EMC SIPI taking place in Dallas, Texas, August 3rd through the 7th. Also on the docket, we have European Microwave Week taking place in London, October 4th through the 9th. Microwave Journal is also looking forward to the European Defense Forum taking place on Wednesday, October 7th at EUMW. Microwave technology is a backbone of modern defense, serving as a critical pillar for radar, electronic warfare, and secure communication systems. As the background evolves, highlighted by the rise of drone technology, innovative microwave solutions are essential for effective detection and response. The Defense Forum creates a unique ecosystem connecting funding bodies, industry, and academia to accelerate the translation of research into real-world defense capabilities. The day is curated to address the most pressing challenges and advancements in the sector today. It's not to be missed, and you can register online now at eumw.eu.
Well, as the world comes together for the FIFA World Cup, with matches taking place in cities across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, including right here in Philly and where you are in Foxborough, Mass., just outside of Boston, it's a reminder that innovation has always crossed borders.
Just think about the history of wireless. The foundations were built by pioneers from around the world: James Clerk Maxwell from Scotland, Heinrich Hertz from Germany, Guglielmo Marconi from Italy, Jagadish Chandra Bose from India, Alexander Popov from Russia, and Nikola Tesla, who was born in what is now Croatia.
Like the teams competing on the pitch, each brought unique ideas and discoveries that helped shape the future of wireless communications.
And today, engineers from every corner of the globe continue that tradition. They collaborate across countries, companies, and disciplines to advance RF, microwave, and wireless technologies that connect billions of people every day, including the networks that keep fans connected and broadcast reaching audiences around the world during the World Cup.
Just as this year's tournament unites host cities across North America and teams from around the globe, the history of wireless reminds us that innovation has always been an international effort. Every generation builds on discoveries made by engineers and scientists from many different countries, and our industry is stronger because of it.
Whether it's on the field or in the lab, the best results come from people around the world working together. Our sponsor for this episode is RFMW. RFMW is a technical distributor of RF, microwave, and power management products. As you begin your next design, consider exploring their broad portfolio of product lines and supplier partners on their website. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Frequency Matters.